All right, it looks like we're live. Hey, Internet, how are you? It's your old pal, Brash, the wannabe rapper producer guy that hangs out in Connecticut and talks from his house. That's me. I love this YouTube journey so far. I really feel committed to this, and I feel like it's going to get somewhere pretty quick. I'm very happy that I have an opportunity to even do this, you know. I'm kind of outcome dependent, or independent rather. It's not super important if I actually ever hit some huge financial goal with YouTube. I just know that right now the thing that's like really doing it for me is I get out of work and on the way home, I'm feeling excited about something. Instead of just sitting in an empty apartment or whatever, I'm doing something. And, yeah, I just want to announce that that's big for me. Yeah, anyway, I keep shaking the table tonight. I don't mean to do that to you. So, yeah, you know, as a hip hop artist, really how rap happened for me. I loved writing growing up. English class. Didn't always get the best grades in school in general, but I always look forward to English class. Writing was huge for me, and so was music. And as I grew up with music, like doing it with friends, I would always come together with people, and then whatever I was doing would break apart. And along the way, rappers came into the scene for me. Like, I was a big early 90s alternative kid. Like, Nirvana was a big deal for me when that was going on, you know. Green Day. But I always loved hip hop. When it would come on MTV, I would always stop and I'd pay very close attention to whatever was going on. Just because this is kind of a stream of consciousness thing, I'm thinking about Beastie Boys' License to Ill, not License to Ill, Sabotage, how dope the video for Sabotage was. Just because it was like so silly but natural at the same time, and the way that it was filmed, and the wigs on their heads, and the talking in the radios and running around. Yes, that's what I wanted to remember. The Beastie Boys. Yeah, and I just remember LL Cool J, Beastie Boys, seeing these music videos. I'm gonna knock you out, you know, stuff that LL Cool J was doing back in that era. Getting into the late 90s, I picked up a pen and started dabbling. You know, I was pursuing a lot of interests back in the late 90s when I was in high school, freshman in high school. Computers, which it's so weird that my music talent and computers, they will never break apart again. You know, in the late 90s, if you told me, Chris, you're going to make music with computers, I'd go, oh, okay. And I'd believe you, and I'd still probably be where I'm at now. I just didn't know it would be to this extent or whatever. I work with computers constantly. I love it in a way. But this technology is just like, it's here with us now. KRS-One asked, like, what can you do without technological assistance? I think what he was getting at when he said that was maybe he was trying to like take a measurement of some kind. Like, how do you measure your artistry or whatever? But when I hear that, I just think nothing. I can play drums, so I could probably play drums, you know, if I was living in an analog world, but I don't think I'd be like a hip hop artist the way I am now. And I just think that kind of in this new era of musicianship, you know, I think the line of what kind of a musician are you is going to get more and more blurry. And it's really going to come down to your end product and like what that is. Because there's so many different paths that you can go in music. You know, part of me wanted to just stop rapping completely and just play piano and make beats and just be fine with that as like a hobby on the side. I don't know. I could still see myself going down that path. You know, I play a little bit of the keys. I'm not really that great, but I do, you know. Yeah, but when it comes to our technology, I'm kind of binded, you know? Like this is an iPod. It's essentially a hard drive with a music player wrapped around it. You store your MP3s on it and you listen to them. This is the most impractical thing today, but I still have one. I still program it. I still have CDs all over the place. And it's just because I'm not only attached to the art. I accidentally muted myself. Whoops. I'm not just attached to the art. I'm attached to the technology that kind of like went along with it. Like, I did bring up Beastie Boys' License to Ill earlier. What was so magic about that music was kind of the time for me that I also got like a CD player for the first time. You know, I would feel a lot of nostalgia if I heard that on a CD, and it's really no different than playing it off of Spotify, but it's the experience of like, well, I hold a disc in my hand, I load it, it makes that sound when I put it in. That's me. I'm connected to that. And I kind of feel like in life, that's everybody. You know, there were people, I remember in the 80s, we had computers, but there were still people typing on typewriters because they were connected to that technology. And when KRS-One says something to the effect of like, what can you do without technological assistance? And my answer is like, really nothing. I kind of look at it the same way that like one of the great American writers would probably look at the computer era now. Like, you know, how are you going to really come up with great ideas to put to a page if you're just staring at a computer? And I mean, the computer has the ability to take you all over the internet. It's got to be hard to be a writer with like just an open window next to you that can show you whatever's going on in the world at any time. You know, I don't know what a novelist looks like in 2026. I mean, ChatGPT's got to be involved, right? You know, it's like art and technology kind of hug each other while they do what they do. And I'm just noticing that. So Native Instruments, which is what's up on the screen here. Let me actually get this up here so I can see. Native Instruments is a piece of that for me. This is technology that I am very, very attached to. And unfortunately, it looks like yesterday there was some bad news that broke in regards to a company that makes some of the technology that I absolutely love. I love Native Instruments. You know, this is actually like heart-wrenching to me. I first got on Native Instruments gear in 2008 or 9, whenever the first one came out. Whenever the first one came out was when I got a hold of one. And I remember I work with Pace One from The Outsiders, and he's really good friends with this dude, Mr. Green, who I met a few times. I actually met Pace One through Mr. Green, but me and Mr. Green have not been in touch for like a bunch of years or whatever. But anyway, Mr. Green was talking about the Native Instruments machine, spelled differently, Maschine, or Machina. And this was during a time where an MPC was so expensive. It was super expensive outboard gear that you would have to pay an arm and a leg for, and then it was confusing to use, at least to me back then. Huge learning curve on those things. Unless you had somebody who knew how to use that machine and could like show you. Plus I had no money, but I had a computer for school. And it's 2008. I meet Mr. Green, thus Pace One. Mr. Green's like, machine is different. This is the first time I remember this. Native Instruments essentially came up with software with a controller that is the machine. 16 pads. Let me actually just pull up an image of it. See if I can see the first one. That's not the first one. That's the first one. Let me see if I can go to images, though. Show it to you. Yeah, this is the first guy, but I had the micro. Whatever. The micro is like this guy, but that's the micro 3. Yeah, it's a controller, and it connects to the computer. And instead of it being like an all-in-one machine, like an MPC, this piece of gear talks to the computer. So all your samples and everything that you want to chop on the computer. It blew me away because it was like a step forward. I felt like at the time and you know, this era, 2008, I believe, maybe 09, whatever, that era, it was such a huge step forward because it's like, yes, gear is now affordable. I think I paid like $300 for it, but at the time, I think they wanted like a G, like $1,000 for an MPC. So this won out. And if you look around the internet, a lot of people use this machine. I am not unique in using this piece of gear. This is what decade is 08, 09? The aughts? And then you have the 2010s. This is the aughts. This is cutting edge technology from that era. And yeah, and it just kept evolving. And then this guy that I'm mousing over right here, Machine Plus, this is the most recent one that I have. I don't use it that much. I keep it in the case because it's my baby. But I bang on a just like the standard machine, standard issue machine all the time. If you look at some of the videos on this channel, you'll actually see me going, oh, I've beat on this thing so much, maybe I should get another one, but I don't know how much of that is going to be an option soon. I don't know. So let me just read this out loud to you. From yesterday, according to insolvency documents, Berlin-based Native Instruments, which is also the parent to Isotope, Plugin Alliance, and Brainworks, it's in preliminary insolvency proceedings. This is devastating news for one of the biggest brands in music-making technology. Professor Dr. Torsten Martini. Torsten Martini is listed as a preliminary insolvency administrator. I'm sorry, the name is just so weird to me. He's an administrator of the company that I can't pronounce, which means he would be responsible for restructuring. I can confirm his involvement in addition to what's on the document. Without too much speculation, that means Native Instruments' various assets will be sold off in some form. Now a process that's out of the hands of NI executives and owners. So since 2021, Francisco Partners had a majority stake in NI and remains the parent company. There's probably more to say about how NI got here, both as part of the industry trends and its own unique story, but that can wait. So the long and the short of it is that this company is going out. Not good. I don't like that because I don't know what's going to happen next, and I don't like the uncertainty of it. I don't know if that means somebody's going to come in and buy Machina as like a standalone thing. I don't know what's going to happen to all my licenses and products. I mean, I read a thing saying that everything's staying online so far, but I've got about $2,000 worth of their software that I just bought. I mean, not yesterday, but I've spent a lot of money with these people. I don't want to be losing any of this software. You know, some companies, they pull up stakes and their licenses go with it. If that is how this story ends on a piece of technology that I love so dearly. So we got Bolo, the producer here. This dude is the man. I wanted to run through this. So,
all right, breaking news.
Let's let him
just
say his
got the
piece.
News just now from one of my subscribers. And man, is this the end of Native Instruments as we know it? They just filed for early stage insolvency. And this is pretty much the stage right before bankruptcy. So let's talk about it. Bolo! Man, I hate to hear this news. Really hurt my heart when I seen this because I thought it was fake. But I went ahead and read the
I would have
article.
hoped it was fake. It would be great to find out they're doing April Fools 3 months early. 2 months early.
Shout out to Peter Kern from CDM.
Oh, he's going to read what I just read.
This is like CDM Link or something like that. He wrote an article earlier today talking about Native Instruments. The German-based company is in
I am
preliminary
Torsten Martini.
insolvency. Now, of course, you know I had to look up insolvency to see what it actually meant. Mm-hmm. And let me go ahead and pull this up. I'm going to do this right here with you guys right here on my phone.
Yeah, insolvency means you owe, let me just see if I'm right. It means you have more debt than you can manage, and even if you sold all the stuff of the company, it wouldn't hit the debt mark, so you're insolvent.
Not really going to do too much.
That's what I think it is.
Like that.
I'm pretty sure that's
but
what
basically
it means.
It says insolvency is a financial state where individuals or business cannot meet their debt obligations.
There you go. Smart guy. I know my stuff.
Either because liabilities exceed assets or they lack cash to pay due debts.
That's what I said.
Okay? So basically it's saying
congratulations
it's a precursor
to me.
to bankruptcy, okay, which is a formal legal process, but one can be insolvent without being bankrupt.
Yep.
Potentially resolving the situation through debt restructuring or negotiation. Okay, so we got that. Now we go back to the article, and basically what the article is saying is that, let me pull this up.
Yeah, basically, he's just confirming everything that I just read. I didn't know, because this guy is such an insider. I thought maybe he had some information. I'm just going to skip ahead a little bit.
What would the chances be if in music, the same people who already have a Kai, that already have the Native Instruments plugins in these MPCs and everything.
Wait, what?
I wonder what would be the likelihood or the chance of maybe in music picking up Native Instruments. Now that would be crazy, because now that would
save the whole situation, I think. I would be happy with that, and then I would be in the new ecosystem with everybody else. All the 90s heads who are still on the MPCs. I get to join them and feel like I'm a part of the actual hip-hop generation.
Two separate divisions in there where they have two standalone devices, and with what M-Music has already been doing with the new MPCs, this would be incredible.
Yeah.
It almost kind of be like in-house fighting a little bit, but it's two separate companies. Would they buy the company and just roll it all in one into a Kai or something like that, or M-Music, or would they keep it two separate companies? And me,
I think from an entrepreneurial standpoint, two separate companies. I don't know who's running the ship over there. If I knew the specific characters who were running the ship, I would probably say, as long as everybody has the same goals in mind, you can do that with separate companies effectively. I'm just thinking of a work situation that I've been in where everybody was technically in a separate company, but everything still worked. Yeah, because we all had the same goals, so it can work really well that way, and sometimes you just got to pay attention who's signing your paycheck. If you're a worker.
I'm not saying they are, but if M-Music buys it, I think they should still keep it as two separate companies, but cross platform certain things, you know. Just like how they're doing right now with the Native Instrument sounds and the MPC.
It kind of is like how, you know what? I'm not going there.
Okay. But
Canada and the U.S. There, I said it.
A theory. I'm not saying that it's going to happen or anything like that, but that would be very interesting. But I would still like to have a new machine. I still would like to have a Native Instruments division like that. Okay.
That's probably going to go out of the window. this is a smart guy right here, so I'm not dissing him, but the idea that a company is going to buy stuff and then not change it, it's human nature. It's human nature. When McDonald's buys, Bob's Burgers, it doesn't get to stay Bob's Burgers, bro. It becomes McDonald's. So what I would assume is that Akai or M or whatever is going to come in. They're going to buy up all those licenses and all the things that they sell software-wise, and then they're going to maintain that and then offer deals to the people who are in the NI to then cross the bridge over. We're not going to see a Machine 4. I would love to have seen a Machine 4. That would have been awesome. That new keyboard, though, looks great, but I'm not buying one because they're going out.
I would still...
What would be the point?
Well, I wouldn't keep the same people doing development because they've been taking so long to do that. So I don't know. It might need a whole new restructuring, just like how they're saying right here.
I just don't agree with this.
But
it's cool. It's a cool thought.
There is light at the end of the tunnel. I don't know what company will buy them. I don't know if there's another firm out here that would take on the debt or whatever, which there is.
Yeah, we're operating in the world of if, that's the thing. It could just be like, hey, we're insolvent. And then a year from now, we're like, hey, remember Native Instruments? And I'll still have the stuff and I'll look it up and it'll just be gone. This news cycle is, it's not a good one.
A lot of firms out here that will take on that debt. They do have enough money to raise up cash to pay off the old debts and to keep things going. But I'm just hoping and praying that they do not go bankrupt. I'm hoping and praying that this will not be the end of Native Instruments. But as of right now, the way they're talking about this is kind of crazy. Now, the good thing about it is they're not shutting anything down. The site is not shut down. They haven't completely stopped all operations and all that stuff like that. They haven't did that. So that's still a good thing. That's still a good thing. So they're still doing things and they're still operating and they're still looking towards the future with Native Instruments. But as of right now, it looks like they're going to be sold at some point. Now, they have been under operation with another company since 2021. They was with the Francisco Partners. Mm-hmm. They had a major stake with them since 2021.
Yeah, we saw that in that article.
And then the crazy part about it is, it's not just
I should have just let Homeboy talk. He's like, I read that thing and was all like tripping over my words and stuff. As soon as I saw the guy's name, Tomland Martini. What a weird name.
Instruments. You got to think of BrainWorks.
Hi, my name is Tomland Martini. See, this is the thing about having ADHD. My brain just latches on to something that doesn't matter, and then that's it.
Plugin Alliance.
I'm Tomland Martini.
And everything else, all the software, like Tractor and all this other good stuff. It's a lot of stuff that's going on with this situation. And I'm just hoping and praying that they do not go belly up. I hope they don't go bankrupt. But we're going to see what's going to happen with this situation. I'm actually going to leave the article. I'm going to leave the link of the article in the video description.
Cool. Yeah, I should have just come to this one first, but still, good stuff here. Good stuff. So yeah, they went through this already, though. I know that I'm harping on the Native Instruments thing, but this is my homie Blez. Blez actually has done some mixing and production for me over the years. He's done a lot of remixes for me. He's a good dude. He's currently MIA. He poked his head up out of the ground on the internet and said, "Hey, I'm still here," but now he's back in. I almost want to get a wanted poster. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I want to put a wanted poster out on Blez because I miss him. But anyway, this is a good dude. This is him 5 years ago when he was really active on the YouTubes, talking about that current situation then.
Yeah, mate. Sup, Purples?
What's
Welcome
up,
to the Black
Purples?
Hole. My name is Bless Beats. Welcome to my new segment here. I call it the Investments news, where we talk about everything from NASDAQ to Dow Jones, paperclip, document.
He's a very silly guy.
Market share increases.
We're gonna just
membership assistance and things of that nature. It came to my attention to a fellow friend of mine in the Black Hole, our Discord community, Brash. If you want to become a friend of Brash too, by the way, you can join us.
Hey, I'm in this fucking video. That was an accident. I didn't know that was gonna happen, but since
Black
you said
Hole,
my name,
our Discord community, Brash. If you want to become,
I don't
a friend
remember
of Brash
this
too. By the way, you can join us in the Discord. It is pretty dangerous, and I think it's interesting because it's regarding native instruments.
This is blowing my mind.
Know what native instruments is? I don't know what the fuck you're doing on my channel, to be honest. According to YouTube, I am their bitch, and I like them. These here news can potentially affect the outcome of the future of us native instruments users in Q2 or Q3, or maybe it was.
So this is just to remind you guys. You'll see it here. 5 years ago. I just pulled this up because it's Native Instruments acquired by a big fish. What happens? So we've been pontificating and wondering. I'm so sorry that I keep doing that to you guys. That if you're hearing the system sounds, I'm trying to like look at stuff and I'm messing it up. But yeah, I knew 5 years ago that they were in trouble, and it's so weird that Blez brought me up. I must have brought this to his attention then. This business has always been important to me. And now that I actually see it's going down, it's sad. I don't know, man.
Q1 of last
This
year,
is sad.
there was some discussion about,
it's like watching a slow motion car crash or something in a way. I've seen this coming for a long time, and I love these products. I've bought more machines than probably most of their user base. I've probably bought like 4 or 5. This is sad.
layoffs at Native Instruments, leadership changes, reformatting methods, working peoples at Native Instruments. There's a lot of text here. You're probably not interested in reading through the whole text here. What happened last year is some people were concerned because they were laying people off, thinking, is this a bad business year right now for Native Instruments? Why do they have to do this? What is
so even back then it was like kind of an open air secret that there were problems behind the scenes. This is not making me happy though. I guess the best case scenario is that Akai comes in, but they're a competing company. What if you are a competing company and you see that your competition's going south, even though you've had some cross engineering, like a lot of the Native Instruments plugins and stuff work in Akai, which is great. So if I end up going over to that side of the fence for future production stuff, yeah, I'll feel right at home with my my massive library and my massive X library. But this is not good news, and this was the seed of it. This was me beginning to know that we were going to have problems.
Business decision. Co-founder and CEO Daniel Hava. He took
San Francisco
even though they
guys.
stepped down from their day-to-day CEO activities with business suitcases, portfolios, office tasks, etc. They're still founding shareholders of the company, and EMH partners are some other shareholders of Native Instruments. And the big news here, right about around here today, is that a major tech investment company called Francisco Partio related a lot of money. Technology platforms increased by 60%, cementing the company's global technology leadership.
Yeah, so these guys had 50 million euros invested in them a mere 9 years ago. And they're insolvent? Like, how? How? Where did that money go? I thought that this was a problem with America. Like this is American accounting or something. This is another another company in another country doing the same thing. Like money just disappears. 2017. We did get the Machine Plus, so I'm wondering if 50 million euros, did that all go to the Machine Plus? Whew. That is wild. Like on a failure rate. But it couldn't have failed. I've seen so many things of Native Instruments over the years. I bought one. How did this go this way?
So
it's just sad. It's breaking my heart. Native Instruments is in preliminary insolvency. An administrator has been appointed for the brand behind the likes of Machine, Tractor, Massive, and Contact. So right off the rip, we save Machine. Good product. We save Massive. Great product. We save Contact. Amazing product. I've never seen this anywhere, ever. I've never been to a rap show where they were using it. I've never been to a studio where they were using it. For those not in the know, Tractor is it's Serato. It's a Serato clone. We already had Serato. They tried to compete with Serato. For those not in the know, Serato is a DJ platform. But we already have a DJ platform. Serato. We don't need, literally reinventing the wheels, the ones and twos. Reinventing the ones and twos. And I'm sure this isn't a bad product. It does exactly what you want it to do. You can cut with it, all that stuff, but it's just, that's not going to keep you afloat. I'm wondering if this flopping, and you know what? I bet you this is really popular overseas, and I was completely unaware of that. I'll look into it. Says it's quite popular among DJs. Let's see what this DJ is saying. I played out as a vinyl DJ ages ago, decided to pick up the habit again, and bought Tractor and Control S4 a couple years ago. Been happy with it for bedroom jams, but more and more it seems like Pioneer remains the standard for playing anywhere you don't bring your own gear. Okay, this is 3 years ago, so if that's the case, why bother with Tractor? Should I jump ship and switch to Record Box and a Pioneer controller just for the plug-and-play ease of using any venue's given setup? Do track tags, comments, grids, cue points, etc. from Tractor show up with other software, or should I have to rebuild all that data from scratch? Or is it just the Pioneer hardware that's ubiquitous and it plays well with whatever software you throw at it? So I should expect to just plug and play and drop beats like wow? It's kind of a odd sentence to write, but because that always happens every time hardware and software meet for the first time. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing like that first handshake, and then you understand your world and you get to go into God mode and do exactly what you want to do without any issues. But yeah, I'm just curious about this. So Tractor is the best software in the market, in my opinion. Big opinion. I have them all. All right, well, you'd probably be more in the know than me. I have them all, and I use them all. Switching between Tractor and Record Box and Serato is easy enough, and with the help of DJCU for Mac or Lexicon for Windows, you can move your tags and cues without having to redo them. So, okay. So, I mean, this is somebody who... I mean, if you own Serato and Tractor and all that stuff, they're saying it's the number one thing. See, I really like Tractor's key detection and still use it after DJing for 5 years. I DJ all my own events, so I get to use whatever I want. If you don't plan on being a mobile DJ or bringing equipment with you, then yes, get ready to play on Record Box. Okay, well, I don't know. I don't DJ that much anymore. I actually went through a period where I was a wedding DJ, and it was a fun way to make some money. Partying with people in weddings. It was splendid. Yeah, my mom, who's a saint, that nice lady hooked me up. She introduced me to the wedding DJ scene because she's an efficient, which is like one that marries people. So I fell into it and made a bunch of money. It was a good time. But it's also stressful because you got to like talk in front of a family, and people's last names are hard to pronounce. And people tell me what their last names are, and I go, "Oh yeah, I won't forget that." And then they walk away, and I'm like, "Oh no!" And then I'm in front of everybody, like, Mrs., Mr., Mrs., like messing up their name. It's just I don't want to do that anymore. Let's see what this person says. I used to play with a laptop and will probably never go back to that nightmare. Being able to walk into a booth with a couple of USB thumb drives and just plug and play seamlessly, all with cue points mapped out, is a no-brainer. Pioneer just makes it all so easy. So I guess 3 years ago, Pioneer was the thing. I don't know. I use a Rain one for my stuff. Oh, they got a Mark II now. I think I have the Mark I. Yeah, I got this guy. And it's an amazing piece of gear. I love it. Don't really ever do shows anymore. I'd like to start getting back into performing ultimately. But yeah, these are great pieces of gear, these things. This is the Mark II, so it's a little different. And it looks like it works with lighting, which is awesome. Didn't know that. I might want to upgrade now. But yeah, these are great tools of the trade. I didn't know that Native Instruments was really in the DJ space like that. Native Instruments going under. I just want to see if there's any new news in regards to this. Native Instruments currently in preliminary insolvency proceedings with Professor Dr. Torsten Martini. Dr. Torsten Martini. Let's see. All right, here's something 6 hours old. Maybe they have some sort of deal on the table. Ooh, I had one of these too. Yeah, I've had a lot of their gear, man. This is a mobile setup right here. We don't have the specifics as to what entails or what a future of the company will look like. We do know that an administrator has been appointed to handle restructuring and potentially to sell off existing assets. Native Instruments employs hundreds of people, and their fates also remain uncertain. Well, all of our fates are uncertain. You know, I think that anytime like something negative happens, like a layoff or something. Yeah, tomorrow ain't guaranteed for nothing, for no one. Yeah. We can all pretend that we're safe from the reality of the situation, which is that we're fragile. All of us. Our careers are fragile. Our life force is fragile. Our family is fragile. Our friends are fragile. It's all fragile. It's not going to be here forever. You got to appreciate it while you got it. You know, I'm not trying to be like a Debbie Downer person who, you know, oh, it's all doom and gloom and everything's bad and but like, you got to be honest. The situation is what it is. We're all going to die, and that's great. If you can accept that early and move on, that is key, you know? So losing a job is a death in a way because you've lost something and you're not going to be able to do that thing anymore. That's why people go, about it. It's not so much the loss of income, though that does suck. It's more like a piece of your identity got taken from you. Like, oh, I guess I'm not a good employee. You know, that's usually the thing that hurts people more than the actual financial stuff. So what I really want to do is try to find something to cap off. Wait a minute, what the hell? Yeah, I'm not getting there. I'm not getting into that. Nope. Does anybody know what's coming up? I want to know the certainty. Yeah, this dude's doing the same thing, man. Contact Machine and Tractor. It's a long one, but I'm too curious.
So I want to jump into it today with
like a Duccio for the piggyback.
The news about Native Instruments, and they are filing for what is called a preliminary insolvency. And if you don't know what that is,
skip a Duccio forward.
This real quick. It looks like that over 77% of you guys that watch this channel.
Yep.
Control of that. 77%. Machine came out years before MPC Beats or
I'll subscribe.
Now, even apart from Contact as we know it, and Machine, if you're a beat, if you're a beat maker or whatever the case may be, I'm
not a hater. Please subscribe to me too. Look, subscribing helps me. if you're watching and you happen to see this and you're like on the fence, help me. I will help you. And that is how humanity works. You know, there was once a guy who made bread, and there was a guy who cut grass, and there was a guy who delivered mail. And they came together and they're like, you know what? We should start a town. We should have families and start a town, and you should pay me for delivering the mail, and I'll pay you to mow the lawn, and you make the bread, and we'll just, you know, make sure that this all runs. That's what I'm offering. It's not a subscription. You don't have to pay for it, but clicking sub means we're on the same team. I'm your guy. You're my whatever you are. I hope I sold that for you.
Really crazy to see that they're going through these things, but we want to dig in deeper into not into the ecosystem, not into all those things. I know you guys are already familiar with it, but let's talk about the business structure of what it takes to run this type of company and what it is. So I'm a software developer. I've ran a software company for well over a decade.
Good for you, man.
Like I said earlier, I created contact instruments. I built all kind of things like that. But even apart from that, I recently got into like building my own VSTs, my own like AAX Pro Tools, all of those.
I didn't know you could do that. I mean, I knew you could do that. I want to do that. I want to make my own VSTs. What would it take for me to make my own Brash VST, and what would that sound like? Oh my God! I appreciate this guy. He just opened doors. See, that's the point of YouTube. We open doors for each other, man. He just opened a door in my mind. All these new possibilities just started flooding to me.
I've recently gotten into developing that over the last 5 to 6 years of my life. I've been building legitimate like audio plugins and apps. And so I know the ins and outs of running a software company, even at the level that I'm at. It is very expensive.
Yeah.
I'm talking 6 figures expensive easily.
Well, the guys who make the stuff, they had to be disciplined, super disciplined, smart software engineers. I mean, I'm a software engineer as of 2 years ago when I started telling a computer, you make this for me. And computer goes, beep, boop, okay, I'll do that for you. Here you go. And it just spits out whatever I want. You know, but I don't consider myself a software engineer. I consider myself somebody who bullies robots into doing my bidding. That's vastly different than having the know-how.
Per launch of plugin of a product, you know what I mean, that you could easily spend building out, launching, marketing, all of those different things that come into the play.
Yeah, different skill sets.
A software company, so it is not cheap. So I can only imagine what like a company like Native Instruments has had to do or what have you in terms of like building and maintaining the type of company that they have. Now, from what I can find online, just studying even on the official Wikipedia, it says that they have about 500 employees, which that makes it a moderate size company. But when you have like operational debt that is like huge, I mean, we're talking.
I had to call them once. This memory is just flooding back to me now. I had to call them in Germany during the day. I had a reason for it. And I remember the lady who answered the phone, she answered in German. And then I said, oh, I'm sorry, I only speak English. Do you speak English? And then she jumped right into English. And God, I'm trying to remember what I called there for. Or why I even brought it up. Nice people, though.
Talking about like
only 500 of them.
Insurance, taxes.
Yeah.
Of course, paying your way,
being the Germans,
your employees, your regular employees, your customer support staff, your developers, your software
customer support. Why would we do that?
Developers, the people that's maintaining the software. There's a lot of hands. That's not even talking about the corporate structure. You know what I mean? The HR, all of those things like that. You know what I'm saying? And then there's some political things that are probably eating into profit margins as well. Like tariffs. We have tariffs that just.
I'm not laughing at this. I'm laughing at an idea that occurred to me.
And stuff. So they're a hardware company. So that means they're shipping hardware products, the Tractor DJ things, I think they still make the audio interfaces. They have some audio interfaces. I think they still make, of course, Machine and all the iterations of that. And then, of course, the Complete Control series of boards.
Yeah, they make a lot of stuff, man. I mean, they're running my whole studio. That's the thing. I don't want to switch to Behringer. You know, what am I supposed to do?
The house of brands type situation where you have a conglomerate.
Okay. Now, see, I wish you put chapters
like
in
you
here,
have
bro.
like Concepts and Corporate
what's this?
Plug-in Alliance between 2020 or what have you. They were bought out by a company called the Francisco Partners. And they not only acquired Native Instruments, but they also owned Isotope, Plug-in Alliance, and a couple of other ones. And they blended it all together. I don't know if you guys remember this. They blended it all together into one.
You know, I just realized this is American accounting because this partnership is based in California. So where do you think the money went? I mean, this is, it just dawned on me that this is happening in a state where they've spent like something crazy, like $3 billion on the homeless problem, only for the homeless population to increase. That's where the money went. I bet you the people in Germany are victims to the accounting.
Called Soundwide. This is like 21, 22, somewhere around in there where they created this whole collective. You know what I mean? They was trying to do what we would call a house of brands. You know what I'm saying? Like you have like Concepts and
we know
in music brands.
Alesis. Hold on, let me look here. Moog, Newmark, in music brands. Let me look at that. inmusicbrands.com. That's what he was saying. He wasn't saying M Music. He's saying in music. So this is the new player. Well, they're not new. But this is the parent company that owns all these things. Innovative music software, creation software, advanced hardware. This is Akai. This is probably where I'm going to end up. I'm probably going to end up doing some work with this. The MPC Live 3 looks amazing. I'm an NI head, you know. I wanted to be an MPC guy, but it was too expensive, and I felt like they were all in a club that I couldn't get into. They were too smart with their MPCs. Now I feel like I could rock an MPC. I just have to sit down and pay attention. But look at all this. Look at all these parameters. I mean, I feel like Native Instruments has a lot too, but I can get by without knowing them. The thing that's cool about these pads too, these are different than the NI pads. Each corner can be set to a different instrument. So you could have like a hi-hat here, and then like a hi-hat, sing, and then a fwing, boom, bong, like whatever you want for sounds, you know, all around. So 4 items, or you could just set the whole pad to one thing, which is what I would do because I'm not an insane person, and 16 pads is plenty. So yeah, I think this is going to be the next move, is one of these guys, the MPC Live 3. Wait for a sale, though. And I'm not trying to give up my my Native instruments just yet. But, yeah, there's a lot of brands here. Lease, I remember they were on their own. They got sucked up by these things, these guys, providing today's musicians with the latest performance and product. Yeah. Lease, what do they make, anyway? Oh, that's right. They make drum machines. They make digital piano. Cool little company. Yeah, they get picked up. Wow, this is like amazing. Engine DJ, I'm not even familiar with that. Head Rush. M Audio, who doesn't love them? That's what I started on. My first audio interface for computer recording was an M Audio box. Moog, Newmark. Newmark is undeniably like a hard hitter in the game. Hey, okay, so I am a customer of theirs. I was just thinking to myself, the Rain one that I was talking about? Ownage. Pointers. Yeah, I love this piece of gear. I'm never going to part with it. I mean, unless I'm trading up to the newest one or whatever, but it's good.
Leases, M Audio, they own a Kai. They own like a whole, they're a house of brands. You know what I mean? Meaning like each, in this house, in music is the house. In this house, you have the Moog room. You got the Kai room. You got the Elise's room.
Yeah, we understand the premise, but the most likely scenario could be this, but they're competing right now, and they already have a Kai, and a Kai interfaces with computers now. Like, I don't know if you guys are rocking with me. I know people tune in and out on streams or whatever, but at the beginning of the stream, I was talking about how it was such a breakthrough thing to have a controller so much cheaper, unleash the power of your computer, and just put your computer into music mode. And you plug that thing in, and it connects to the computer, and then you hit the button there, the computer processes it, that snare fires off on your hard drive, do your sampling, everything, just make a nice song. Incredible. But yeah, at the beginning of this episode, I was talking about that and how that was a game changer, and they were directly competing with the Kai then. And even though there's some architecture stuff going on between the new companies, they're still competing. I don't think this is what's going to happen. I think we're going to see NI die.
All that stuff just under the Native Instruments brand, right? So everything is under Native Instruments, Isotope, all of those things like that. So in a company that's already acquiring debt, and then you got like the debt from Isotope and the debt from Plugin Alliance, combining all of that under one situation might have also caused the extra financial pressure if you're taking on another 50 or 60 million dollars worth of debt. I don't know the numbers. I'm just throwing those out, under that one umbrella. Definitely puts them in a position to where but I think either way they're going and either way they're playing it, it's a power play. So, producers, of course, all of us are crashing out about this stuff. We're like reading all this information and listening to everybody else's videos, trying to figure out like what all of this means and what's going to happen for the future. I had a producer text me earlier and say, "Hey bro, I think I'm moving from Contact." I'm like, dang, like, wow, like that's kind of crazy. Like you just got the information yesterday. Let's see what's happening. But apart from that,
I'm riding until the wheels fall off. Do you hear me, NI? I'm here. If you need me. If you have any brand deals or anything that you would like to discuss, I'm here for you, but I understand. Look, man, if you want to borrow $50, Brash is your boy.
I can see maybe 3 potential outcomes of this. This is kind of my take and how I can see this rolling based on what I've seen happen before with different companies, based on my own business. I've been in the music business for 20 years. I know what this takes and what it does. So 3 possible outcomes that I can see happening here. What's going to happen for us? Number 1 being that they'll restructure the debts. They'll go into bankruptcy, or they'll do some better negotiations. They'll restructure their debt, which can like relieve the debt pressure, and then give them more money to reinvest into products, maybe more talent, more developers.
It's more evidence that I've been shown over and over and over and over again in my life. And anybody watching, we can definitely do more than just gloss over this, but avoid debt in your life. Avoid it. It is a monster. You are not better than debt. It will swallow you. It's an awful, awful thing. Always avoid it. I'll sleep on rocks. I'm not going into debt. I'll be outside. It's 13 degrees outside. You can't see it on my screen, but in the bottom left-hand corner there, I can see it. It's 13 degrees outside. I'll go sleep outside. I'm not going into debt. It just leads to this for people. Really, I wanted to make this into like, hip-hop and art and like a company that's don't so much for real. Like what it comes down to, it's biblical. Stay away from debt. You play with snakes, you're going to get bit. I think that's the story with NI. I mean, they're talking about the debt All this stuff is expensive, yes, but it's all, you can plan for that. He didn't say anything that was an emergency. You know, he didn't say like, oh, there was a fire at the Native Instruments keyboard plant and we can't make keyboards. Now we're insolvent because of the fire. That's not what happened. He was like, oh, you got to pay people this and that. And it's like, yep, that's all a plan. And I'm not faulting him. He was talking about how he had a bunch of time in the music industry and software development. He's definitely got a plethora of skills and things that he knows about that I do not. But one thing I do know is that none of that was an emergency. Nothing that he said wasn't like avoidable, you know. Spending 10 G's is something you plan for, you know. That's not just something you do on a whim. And if they had 50 million euros and they knew what their margins were and they knew what their employees cost, I'm sure there were some variables in there. I'm thinking that because they're in Berlin, a couple gnarly things might have happened. I think Berlin might be where that power outage was in Germany. I don't know. Let's see what city that was. What city in Germany was without power? Yeah, it was Berlin. So there's a lot more to the story going on with Native Instruments than I think the gentleman here, John Mike. Cool dude. He caught the sub from me and the thumbs up a Duchlio, but I don't think he looked at the full gamut of what's been going on with this company. You know, he did bring up the partnership, the Francisco thing or whatever, but it goes deep. It goes deep. So we'll see what the future has in store. I'm optimistic. I think the optimism has more to do with a software company coming along and buying the intellectual property as far as like, yeah, these VSTs and plugins will be able to run in DAWs and stuff. So we'll keep the Native Instruments name on them for brand recognition or whatever. But it's really, you know, John Mike's running the show for real. But we kept Native Instruments on there. And we sell more licenses to this software, but it's kind of deprecated software. And, you know, in the next 10 years, when the new operating systems come out and there's new stuff, it doesn't run as well. And, oh, this company makes a thing that's similar to this, and then that's how we'll go forward. I just don't think Native Instruments is going to be around as a name anymore. And it sucks. But it's a part of life, man. Blockbuster. I get real nostalgic for Blockbuster, but if you opened up one down the street, I'm not going to Blockbuster. Why would I do that? I've got Netflix. It's just life. This is how we progress as a people, a species or whatever. We just move forward, you know, and we improve. We improve through this. That's what's important. Every day, you have to get 1% better. Holy shit. Day 100, you'd be like a beast, you know? That'd be a lot if you had to walk miles, though. Like, every day you have to add 1 mile to how far you walked. By day 30, you'd be like, I don't know. I don't think you'd be able to do that. That's too much. But that's really all I got. One thing that I wanted to say, let me look at my page real quick. This video is doing really well for what it is. I know I'm a low view dude. You know, it is what it is. I'm so thankful that people are tuning in to this. This is going to be a song that comes out on February 7th. It's called What It Really Cost. And it's really just poking fun at, you know, you're living that rap life, but what did you really pay for? You know, it's like, oh, I got there through hard work and talent and it cost me nothing. It's like, no, you got to dedicate. You got to dedicate. That's the point. Thank you. If you could hit the like button and if you could hit me with a sub, tell a friend about this channel. Tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a lookout session. It's going to be that's what I'm calling my my studio cookups. They're lookout sessions. I'll be making more music in the studio tomorrow. And then the weekend's wide open. I might actually do a live stream of like writing some rap lyrics, maybe some freestyles. Definitely a couple Brash broadcasts. Maybe a friend will come be second mic with me. I'm really looking forward to that. Shout out to Green Jungle Studios, who I'm going to be doing some work with. Shout out to Payswan. And yeah, that's all I got. So I am ending the stream here. Thank you very much for tuning in.